everyone. Hello, hi. Today I'm going to be getting to know you. Yeah, I'm going to be getting to know you, and you'll be getting to know me a little bit because I like to yap and answer my own questions, dude. So if you aren't already aware, if you aren't already familiar with my channel, I like to make asking personal questions type videos. So today I wanted to make that, but like mega. I wanted to do a whole bunch of questions. However, I will be retreading some questions from previous videos just because I have done so many of these. I literally have 17 pages of questions. So yeah. But of course I will be adding some new questions here and there, and then I will also be jotting down your answers in this absolutely gorgina notebook that I got. Oh my god, it's so pretty. It's not the one that's on the thumbnail because I remembered I wanted to use this. And look, this is so satisfying. It's got like this magnetic clasp. Okay, I'm already talking a lot, but that's kind of how these videos go. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Look at that. Fresh new notebook. Oh my god. Okay, first question. If you had to change your name to anything else, what would it be? What would it be? Okay, I'll see for me if I had to change my name. Honestly, it's hard because I would just delve into the names I have written down for like baby names, but then I wouldn't be able to name a baby that. So I don't know. As you guys know, my name is Cece, but I love other C names that have a hard C. And I also like anything that sounds a little European. I like the name Simone a lot, but I don't think that would suit me. Let's see. I don't know. Moving on. Okay, so speaking of names, do people mispronounce your name a lot? And if they do, what do they say? Interesting, yeah. Do they mispronounce your first name, your last name, both? Okay, perfect. Alright. Next. My dog is getting all up in my business right now. He is so cute. I kind of want to let him up here, but okay, I gave in. So these next few I won't be writing down because my hands are full. So speaking of baby names, do you have an idea of what baby names you would want? Like, do you have a little list of your favorite baby names? I know a lot of people who don't even want kids. Do this. It's just fun. A fun thought experiment. Okay, interesting. Writing. If so, what are they? If you can think of them off the top of your head. Yes, my baby name is Tofu. Okay, would you say you are a more cleanly or organized person? Are you more cleanly or are you more organized? Because yes, there is a difference. You can be messy and clean. Okay, interesting. Here's me jotting it down. I'm definitely a more clean than organized person. That's why it's nice to have a partner or a roommate who is opposite of you. Because then someone can do the cleaning and then someone can do the tidying up. Okay, and how many rooms are in your residence? Okay, not bedrooms. Can you count rooms? I don't even know this off the top of my head, so I'll give you a second to count while I count. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I would say there's probably 6 rooms in mine. Six rooms. What about you? Oh, interesting. Okay. Next. On a scale from a 1 to 10. How messy is your bedroom right now? 10 I would say mine's probably at like a 3 or a 4. Actually, there's quite a bit of laundry on the floor that I gave up putting away halfway through. That's a good segue into another question. Some of these I'm just making up as I go. Do you have ADHD? Do you have ADHD? Okay. Interesting. Are you diagnosed with any other mental conditions? I told you these would be personal. Like perhaps OCD or anxiety, general anxiety disorder, clinical depression. You're like, I watch ASMR, did not think about my clinical depression. Thank you very much. But it's okay. Alright. What about this? Do you have unique passwords? Or do you just use the same password for everything? Interesting. And what about when you get those little ping alerts that there's like a data leak, including your password? You know, if you go into the passwords app on your phone, on your iPhone, it shows a little exclamation point if it's been included in like a data leak. Are you diligent about going in and changing those passwords, or are you just kind of like, I'll deal with it when I deal with it? Okay, good. Another one. Do you remember your very first username and password you made when you were a kid? And on what website was it? What website was it? Mine was on Webkins. Okay. And do you still use that password for anything to this day? Or username? Do you use those at all? Okay. Interesting. I do not use my passwords from my childhood because honestly, nowadays they are super weak. I mean, Webkins wasn't like a super high security situation. So, okay, what about the first time you opened an email? Do you still use the first email address you ever opened? Okay, interesting. And do you recall what prompted you to create that email address? Email address. Okay. See, I had an email address for school before I had a personal email, because we live in the digital age where everybody has a school email now. School email. But the first time I created a personal email, it was for a Pokemon Go account. I opened it. I was literally on vacation, and this is when Pokemon Go first came out, and my dad and my brother and I all were like, this is perfect. We're literally traveling the country right now. We went to the hotel lobby to use one of their computers so I could create an email account that I could use for my Pokemon Go account. Yes. We were actually in Washington, D.C., I remember. Crazy times. Speaking of Pokemon, if you're familiar with Pokemon, if you like Pokemon, what is your favorite Pokemon? Pokemon, Pocket Monster, what's your favorite Pokemon? Okay. And do you prefer Pokemon because, if you even give a shit about Pokemon, which is fine if you don't, this will be my last Pokemon question. Do you typically pick your like preference for Pokemon based on like how cute they are, based on how much like they resonate with you? What draws you to a Pokemon? How powerful they are? Is it nostalgia that draws you to a Pokemon? moving on from Pokemon. Oh my god, my dog is eating in my lap. Alright, speaking of which, do you have a dog? Okay, do you have a cat? Do you have any pets? Any pets? I wish I was writing. I promise I will when he gets up. This video will be long enough that will come back eventually, but here's me writing. And how old are your pets? Do you know? I know some shelter animals you don't actually know. My sweet little Tofu turns 4 on like Tuesday or something like that. I don't know if they actually knew his birthday or they just kind of like guesstimated his birthday because he was adopted, but oh my god, he's so sweet. Alright. Do you crack your knuckles or joints, and if so, which ones? Or do you totally hate it? I know some people absolutely hate knuckle popping. I crack my finger knuckles. I can crack my thumbs 2 ways. Actually, I can crack all my fingers 2 ways for the most part. And then I can crack my toes. I crack them 2 ways as well. I can crack my back only in 1 way. And it rarely works. I just learned how to do it. Like this year. But I can't do my neck. I can't do anything like that. Anything like that. Actually, now that I think about it, if I press my knuckles into my ears, I think everyone can do that. They pop, and if I grab my nose and pull up, I can pop that too. But again, I think that's something everyone can do, and I might only just be able to hear it in my own head. Okay, let's see. What color are your eyes? And do you like the color of your eyes? Do you have positive feelings, negative feelings about your eye color, or neutral? You just like don't even care, it doesn't cross your mind. Your eyes, your blink, your eyes. Okay. I like my eye color, but it does kind of look different based on what I'm wearing, low-key, because they are definitely green, but you see that like blue ring around the outside. I feel like sometimes that is more prominent than others, and it kind of makes my eyes look blue. Did anyone else's eyes change from when they were a kid? Because when I was a little kid, my eyes were blue, but they turned green as I got older. Oh, that's a good question. Do you still have the same hair color that you had when you were a baby or like a little kid? I feel like so many people, at least like white people, were born blonde and then developed their other hair color. Because that's the case for me. I had like Elsa white hair. And then it turned blonde, and then it's slowly progressed into red, like my mom and my grandma, etc. Okay. Oh, that's another good question. Do you what side of the family do you get your hair color from? Mom or dad? Or both, if they have the same hair color? Interesting. And what about your eyes? That's a good question. Eyes. Honestly, now that I think about it, I don't know who I got my eye color from. I think my mom. My mom. Okay, and who do you think? Excuse my dog's stomach making noises. Who do you think you look more like in general? Your mother or your father? Okay. How many languages are you fluent in? I know you have to at least understand English because you're watching this video. So how many languages are you fluent in? Okay. And what language did you learn in school as like your supplementary language? Interesting. I did multiple. I did multiple based on which school. I moved a lot as a kid. So one of my schools had a sign language class because we had a deaf teacher. Not my teacher, but one in the school. So she would teach a sign language class. This was a very small private school. So I had an ASL class, Spanish throughout all of elementary school, but it was sparse because I always went to very tiny schools, so we didn't have an actual Spanish teacher. We had like guest teachers come in. Weird. This is like weird, tiny Midwestern town shit. Did anybody else have that? And then in high school, when I moved to the suburbs, I learned French. That was my language all the way through high school and college. Alright, what about you? You guys, you can actually, if you are awake enough to do so, you can actually answer some of these questions with your own little anecdotes in the comments. I do love to read them. I really do. Okay. Ooh, this is an interesting one that I have asked before, but I'm going to ask it again anyways. Have you ever stolen something? 1, from a store. 2, from a friend. I'm not a cop. I've never done anything like this before. Okay. Interesting. I really want to know what you guys stole. Put some incriminating shit in the comments below. Next is the hair color. The hair brush. Color you have right now, your natural color, or is it currently dyed? Okay, interesting. And are you happy with the current state of your hair? Or are you kind of like feeling some type of way about it? Okay, interesting. I'm grabbing my notebook again because I'm free of my dog. Okay. What is one trait, it can be physical or otherwise, that you had when you were a kid or a child or a teenager, depending on which one right now, that you grew out of? Interesting. What is a bad habit that you had at one point in your life, a bad habit that you got rid of, if you can think of one? For me, I was a nail biter like almost my whole life, and I don't know if I've gotten rid of that per se, but I started doing my press-ons all the time, so there's like not even the inclination to do that. Got it. What's one bad habit you still have? I know a lot of us have more than one, but you can just name one. Maybe you bite your cheek. Maybe you bite your nails. Maybe you. You smoke? Did I say that already? You smoke or vape? Okay. That's another good question. Do you smoke or vape? Okay. If you smoke cigarettes, what is your cigarette of choice? If you vape, what is your vape brand / flavor of choice? Okay. Interesting. Okay. And then here's one I know I've asked before, but I'm gonna ask it again. Do you have a preference in what brand of water you like? If you're gonna go to a gas station to get a bottle of water, maybe you're on the road or something, and you need to buy a plastic bottle of water, what brand do you reach for? Or do you not give a shit? Some people just don't care. Usually I just buy whatever's cheapest. I'm not picky about water. Okay. Do you drink your own tap water at your house? Or is it not drinkable? Or you just don't like it? Or I know some people who only buy plastic water bottles. Some people just do it because of, like, they can't drink their tap water, whether it's like well or something like that, well water. It's just the type of water system they have. But some people just do it because they like the taste better, and I'm like, just get a filter. That is such a waste, not to judge people's water habits, but what other names, if you know this, if you know the answer, what other names did your parents consider when they were naming you? Like, you know, sometimes they'll be like, well, if you were a girl, we were gonna name you so-and-so. We were gonna name you Louise. We were gonna name you Beyonce. I don't know. Or if you were a boy, we were gonna name you Charles. I don't know. Interesting. Alrighty. Do you prefer gold or silver jewelry? Gold or silver jewelry? Or do you have no preference? Okay. And this is more likely to be for the ladies, TBH, but in terms of jewelry, what do you wear the most of? Are you more of a necklace wearer? Are you more of an earrings wearer? Bracelets, rings, etc. What do you probably wear the most frequently? Okay. I used to be an earrings girl, but as I've grown up, I'm more of a necklace person than ever. I love rings, but I just can't with the sensory aspect of it. Ugh. Okay. Do you know your parents' phone numbers by heart? Or I guess if you're married, do you know your spouse's phone number by heart? Some people don't even know their own phone numbers by heart. Is that you? Do you know your own phone number by heart? Please learn it. Please get on that. Okay. Do you have your passport? Do you have your passport? Okay. Passport. And how many countries have you traveled to? If you've ever left your home country. How many? One. Is it two? Is it three? Is it four? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I know some of you are out there like, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I envy you. You got that shmoney? Or maybe you just live in a small country that's bordered by a lot of other countries. I live in the US of A, so it's not really a cakewalk to get from one country to another. I can't just take the train, damn. Okay. Alright. How often do you find yourself using AI? It doesn't just have to be to like generate slop. How often do you use like things like ChatGPT, you know, like language, what are they called? Language learning models. Or is it pretty much exclusively just when you Google something and the AI overview pops up, or if you have to talk to a chatbot for customer service? Hate that, by the way. It's so useless. Or never. Do you have all that? You absolutely refuse. And you go out of your way to avoid it. I know a lot of people now have to use it for one reason or another at work. It's just like policy, or they ask you to use it. Do you consider yourself to be more of an introvert or an extrovert? Introvert or extrovert? Okay. Okay. I hate to be the person who's like, I'm the exception, but I truly, positively think I am what they call an ambivert. Because every single time, I've mentioned this before, but every single time I've taken the Myers-Briggs type indicator, which is like BS pseudoscience, but I think it is a decent gauge of as to whether you're an introvert or an extrovert. Every time I take it, it switches. And it's always like 51 and 49% introvert to extrovert. I genuinely do not know which one I fall into. Speaking of which, if you've ever taken the Myers-Briggs type indicator, the MBTI, that's the personality test that gives you the 4 letters, sometimes 5. The 4 letters. What was your personality type? Okay. Can you guess? Can you guess which one I am? Leave it in the comments below. Some of you are like, bitch, I don't know you. I do not know who you are. This is my first video time watching you. If that's the case, then hey. Okay. What about if you're into the whole personality test type thing? What about enneagrams? Do you know which number you are? That's the one where you have a single number. You fall into, like, I think it's like 9 or maybe it's 11 different types. Do you know what you are? Honestly, I cannot recall what I was. What I was. Okay. So, do you consider yourself more of a type A personality or a type B personality? I think there's more than that technically, but at least colloquially and like in day-to-day life, most people know what it means to be type A or type B. So I was just talking about this with my friends, but I feel like I'm genuinely the most type B, type A person there is. Like, I am a type A. I like to plan. I like to organize. Like, I am very, like, oriented that way. I'm kind of like a clean freak. I'm very uptight about certain things, and the way I just, like, go about my life is very type A. However, I'm a type A with ADHD. So I'm a little ditzy, I'm a little forgetful, it's just... Anyway, let me stop talking about me. If you've ever taken a career field sorting test, do you know what I'm trying to say? One of those tests, they made us take it in school, at public school in America. But it tells you which career fields you're most suited to based on your interests, your skills, your preferences. So if you've ever taken one like that, what were your results? What industries did it put you into? I bet you can't guess what mine was. I've mentioned what I'm interested in outside of ASMR before. So if you're a super loyal subscriber, then maybe you already know, but I think you can probably clock it just from looking at me. Hint, the answer is not anything artistic, because while I am musical, I am not artsy like that. Okay. Are you like a photo hoarder? You have like a ton of pictures in your camera roll. Or are you pretty good about keeping up with deleting them? For some of us, it's just out of necessity, based on how much storage there is in your phone. Storage, bro. Paying for the extra storage in a cell phone, I've learned, is so worth the money. Oh my god. So worth it. Like, if you're already buying a phone, it's already expensive, I just go in and pay for that storage. Okay. Interesting. Speaking of which, what type of phone do you have? What type of phone do you have? And are you happy with it? Okay. What was the first phone you ever got? And when? Like, what age, what stage in life were you when you got it? This answer will very much depend on how old you are. I think I got my first phone I got an iPod in like 5th grade or something, like just to play games on. An iPod Touch. But my first phone I think I got in like 8th grade. Okay, speaking of adolescence and firsts, this one mostly applies to people who have already graduated high school, but how well behaved were you in school? Were you rebellious? Were you straight A student? Like, describe to me how you were in high school. Did you ever cheat on tests? Did you ever cheat on a test? Okay, I'm sure there's an equivalent to this for other countries, but what was your GPA in high school? GPA, grade point average. So in America that goes up to a 4.0, or if you're some schools like let you go above that if you take like certain accelerated courses or honors courses, but if that's not a thing where you live, maybe like you can tell me like what did you score on the standardized tests, that sort of thing. Just anything to give me an idea of what type of student you were. Okay. I was like an A student through and through until COVID, and then I was like a B student for the most part, but my GPA, I believe when I graduated, was a 3.85 or 3.9, I can't remember. Yeah, because I was doing all those advanced and like accelerated courses, but then when COVID happened, I was like, hell no, this is not worth it. Okay, when you were a child, what was your parents' like bedtime routine with you? Like, did you get sung a lullaby? And if so, like what song was it? Or did they read you a book? Did you have a favorite book that you read all the time? Did you have any sort of routine like that with your parents or guardians, grandparents, whoever was putting you to bed? Or was it just like good night and then you got in bed? Alright. How many jobs have you worked? How many jobs? Okay. Right. What is the job you've worked the longest? Which one? Which one did you stay at the longest? Okay. Which one paid the best? Okay. And which one were you the happiest at? Okay. Interesting. I really hope for your sake that the one that paid the best and or that you were happiest at is the one you're at right now. Or if not, I hope you get to that point, but I understand you gotta work to make money. That's money, honey. Okay. Do you like where you currently live, or do you wish you could move? This could be about the city you live in, or it could be about the like apartment / house you live in. Just go ahead and specify for me so I can jot it down. As you guys know, I absolutely abhor the apartment I live in right now. But good news, I think if I can hustle, I'm going to try to move out after my lease is up. Thank God. I think I'm going to try to rent a house, which in this economy. But yeah, hey, subscribe. No pressure at all, whatever, but it is absolutely free to hit that subscribe button. How important are politics to you? If you would like rank it on a scale from 1 to 10 of how political or politically active of a person you are, 1 being the least, 10 being the most, where would you put yourself? I'd probably put myself at like a 7 or something like that. 6 or 7. I'm not sure. I did not mean to do that. Y'all, every time I get those fuck ass comments. Okay. Well, how important are politics to you? I guess it's pretty related, so might as well be the same question, but how important are politics to you in a partner? in general, to me, they're pretty important. But like I said, it is directly connected to how political of a person you are, and I just ranked myself like a 7 or 6, 7. I did it again, guys. I swear. And this is why, guys. This is why I'm actually gonna leave that in to show you an example of. That's literally just him walking. That's just my neighbor walking. He's not even like stomping, or maybe he is. I don't know. Just if that's him stomping, then he must be doing it all the time, every day. Which for an ASM artist, that's like god tier irony that I just so happen to live in this goddamn apartment. Yeah. Okay. How frequently do you watch ASMR? Okay. Like every day? For hours a day? Okay. Do you listen to ASMR while doing other tasks? Or like, just during the daytime? Or do you only listen to it for nap time or sleep time? Honestly, if you're interested in this sort of content, like the asking personal questions content, my guess would be that you watch it for other purposes than just falling asleep. Because I don't know about you, but when ASMR is this chatty, and when it's engaging to the mind, it's mostly something I just like to listen to relax, or in the background of doing something else. I like to, when I fall asleep, I don't mind listening. I don't mind talking in my ASMR videos. I sleep too, but it's good to have something that my brain doesn't care about enough, or that is confusing or gibberishy enough for me to just unclick and start to think about other things and drift off to sleep. Okay, speaking of sleep, and ASMR, let's just talk more about your ASMR habits in general. Would you say you listen to more male or female ASMR artists? Okay. So what you're saying is you hate women. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I would say there are, like, without a doubt, way more female ASMR artists than male. But if you do listen to more male ASMR artists, you are definitely an anomaly. So let me know in the comments. Who do you listen to? I have a few male ASMR artists, but typically I listen to more females, women, girls. Girly pops, girly pop. Alright. Do you sleep on your side, your back, your stomach? What position do you sleep in, or do you just roll all around? And are you one of those people that can kind of fall asleep anywhere, or are you very particular about your sleeping situation, or somewhere in the middle? Okay. Interesting. Okay, so in terms of ASMR again, do you branch out? How much, like, what percentage of the ASMR you watch is people you're subscribed to and watch frequently, and how much of it is things that just get recommended to you? You branching out, watching random videos. Actually, some of this will be very helpful feedback to me as a creator. So if you guys actually want to give me some, it's like doing research. So let me see. When you are looking for an ASMR video, do you more often than not use your homepage, or do you search for something specific? Like, what do you do more often? I'm always surprised how much of my viewers, when I look at my analytics, are coming from search results. Because honest, I feel like I don't search for specific types of ASMR very often, unless I'm looking for inspiration for my own video. Okay, I'll write that down. And how important do you find that thumbnails are to you in an ASMR video? Like, what is the how much influence does the thumbnail have on whether you click it or not, even if it's like kind of subconscious? Okay, interesting. Would you say you consume more whispered ASMR content? Sorry, I brushed you. Or more soft-spoken? I know a lot of people point out the fact that I switch between my two voices frequently, and honestly, I do it without even thinking. Some people are very annoyed by that, but also it's low-key, like, I do that in every single one of my videos, so just, like, watch somebody else, I guess. Guys, some people have been commenting lately telling me I give millennial vibes. Guys, I'm Gen Z, guys, no. Do I give millennial? Not that there's anything wrong with being a millennial, but you know, I don't want to be aged up. I am very much Gen Z. I'm a 2003 baby. I'm like, what, 5 years into Gen Z? Something like that. I don't know. Okay, I'm getting a little irritated with how loud this notebook is. Okay. Let's see, what else should I ask you about? How many crushes, if you can even count them, did you have in like middle school and high school? Did you crush on a lot of people, or were there just like a couple fixations? Okay. What about like the main ones? I feel like for a lot of people there are like specific people you have huge crushes on. So like there are a few that stand out to me. I'm sure there was a couple people that I was like, they're cute. But to me, I would say there's probably like I'm counting middle school as well. Probably like 1, 2, 3, 4 big crushes. Okay. In terms of dating history, what is the biggest age gap you've ever dated? Or if you always dated like same age or 1 year? And then another question about age and dating. What is your age range? Like, what is the oldest and youngest person at this point in your life that you would consider dating, that you would find acceptable to date? Of course, it does depend on circumstances, but currently, up and down. How much? What ages do you deem acceptable? Okay. Speaking of age, I think I asked this one before, but do you think you look your age, or do you think you look older or younger? Okay. I don't really know. I think I look a little younger, or maybe I look exactly my age. I'm 22. I think I look younger because when I say that, people are like, oh my god, you're young. I already said I'm born in 2003 though, so you guys know. You could have done the math. You could have. Okay. So, you said, actually I don't know what you said because I can't hear you, but do you think you act your age? Do you think you have the maturity of most people your age? Or are you more or less mature? Okay. Do you speak with any sort of regional accent? Now, when I say that, I don't mean like, if I went to France, obviously I would have an English accent, or an American accent, not an English accent. Anywhere other than the Americas, I would have an American accent. But, within America, there's people who have distinct accents from where they're from. So is that the case for you? Is that the case for you? I find it so freaking interesting that there are so many accents in England. England. There are so many, and everybody in England knows the exact difference. I'm like, damn, you guys are a really small country to be having this many accents. Are they just more isolated from one another? I don't know. But I have read that the regional accent as a concept, at least in a lot of the bigger countries, is kind of dying out on account of globalization and just the internet and media. We're all exposed to so much that it's not as often you find people that aren't older that have an accent. Interesting, right? Alright. When and where was your first kiss? When and where was it? Hello. I had to take a brief pause. I apologize that there is now some added white noise in the background on account of the shower running, but I hope you can just forgive me for that. Let's continue. All right. Do you have a obsessive interest right now? I know a lot of us kind of cycle through things that we're really fixated on for a brief period of time. What's kind of your current obsession, if you have one? What is your favorite thing you bought recently? Okay, I'm trying to think of what mine would be. This is going to be uploaded in January. You may be watching this at a later date, but I promise it was topical when I filmed this. If you celebrate Christmas or other holidays that involve gift giving, I guess, what was the favorite gift you received this year? Okay. And what do you think was the best gift you gave this year? Do you think you are a good gift giver? Do you enjoy receiving gifts, or are you one of those people that feels some type of way about it? Okay, this is a big pivot in subject matter, but I just thought of it. Do you struggle with eye contact? Okay, interesting. Do you deal with, it's a very related question, do you deal with any social anxiety, or are you a pretty confident person socially? I mean, I feel like most people have a certain degree of it, but would you self-describe yourself as someone with social anxiety? Okay. The place you live in right now, do you live in a city, a suburb, or a rural area? Who in your life irritates you and gets on your nerves the most? Could be a roommate, a teacher, parent, sibling. Okay. Do you think that you work well under pressure? is your zodiac sign? And then, you know how there's like sun signs, moon signs, or whatever? If you know off the top of your head what your like moon sign is, what is it? Because honestly, I think I know mine, but I always forget. Okay. Do you believe that they're like, do you buy into the idea of zodiac and astrology at all? Or are you totally like, no, that's stupid? I like it as like a fun like personality test, like thought experiment type thing, but I don't like buy into it fully, although it is interesting and it's fun. I feel the same way about tarot. Like, I don't super buy into it, but I think it's fun regardless. Okay, interesting. And then if you do buy into astrology at all, what are the signs? Oh, yeah, I hear a lot from, people that are like, stay away from a Virgo male, or oh my gosh, Sagittarius women are such nightmares. I'm just making up examples, but do you have any like no-go lists in terms of favorite and least favorite signs, like ones you get along with versus ones you don't? Even if you do not believe in the zodiac or astrology, if you're even a little bit familiar with it, do you find that you identify with the stereotypes and descriptions of your sign? Like, honestly, I don't even know enough to tell you off the top of my head, but I am a Cancer, for example, and I know that Cancers are considered very, like, sensitive and emotional, and I guess that would be true of me. But I honestly don't know much else about what Cancer is to most people, so I don't know. But maybe you do. Maybe your friends are really into it. Alright. What is the last thing you bought? Or the last thing you spent money on? It could be a bill, it could be gas, or it could be a little treat, a little treat. For me, it's gas. I spent like $40 on gas or something like that this morning, and 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 this morning. And I also bought a coffee while I was out, but I had a gift card. Okay. Speaking of coffee, are you a coffee drinker? Okay. Are you an energy drink drinker at all? Guys, I've been trying to quit my energy drink habit, and honestly, it's not that hard. I just ran out of the kind I liked and didn't buy more. And I have the urge, and I've broken my fast, I think, twice now. But yeah, or 3 times, maybe 4. I don't know, but I used to have one every single day, and I'm breaking that habit. Because honestly, I started to notice it was wearing on my teeth, and I'm very proud of my teeth. And I was like, no. Okay. Speaking of teeth, do you, oh wait, let's rewind to coffee. What is your go-to coffee order if you have one? Okay. Do you prefer most of the time, like, just statistically one more than the other, more hot drinks or more iced coffee drinks? Okay. What about coffee versus tea? Okay. What about soda? Are you a soda drinker at all? Pop, soda, Coke. Okay. Cola. If so, or even if you're not really a big soda drinker, what is your favorite soda? partake. I mean, again, I'm not a cop. What is your alcoholic drink of choice in terms of a mixed drink, like something you order at the bar that isn't prepackaged? Okay. And what about a prepackaged alcoholic drink? Prepackaged alcoholic drink. This summer, I was on a huge kick for high noons. I liked the pineapple one, and honestly, the grapefruit one is so fire, but you're not supposed to drink grapefruit with antidepressants, so I avoid those now. But I also discovered these little, what they're called, it's gonna sound gross, okay, but it's Sunny D spiked seltzers, and I'm a mimosa fan, a big mimosa fan, and the Sunny D's don't taste super like Sunny D. Actually, it's more like normal orange juice in my opinion. And it is so fire. Oh my god, and you think it would have like 1 million grams of sugar, but I think it's like 90 calories and like barely any sugar. What? So good. So good. If that sounds appealing to you at all, I encourage you to check it out. Okay. In terms of bar drinks for me, I don't really know. I used to order a vodka Red Bull, and then, like I said, obviously I had an energy drink problem. I don't want to trigger nobody, but you can fill in the gaps. And now I just can't drink it anymore because it just associates it in, like, that in my brain. I actually had to stop drinking Red Bull, even in like in a casual sense without alcohol because of that. But Celsius, my love, Celsius. Okay. Let's see. Do you believe that there are meanings to your dreams? I can't get over how pretty this is. I love this kind of flower. I forget what it's called, but I love it. It's actually a weed, I think, this specific type of flower. Alright. Well, what about that? Do you have a favorite flower? Do you prefer, in general, more fast ASMR or slow ASMR? I like both so much. I'm just such an ASMR stan in general, but yeah. But I think I like fast ASMR more than the average person. Like, I listen to a lot of fast ASMR. I really like Miss Manganese. I really like Kelly Belly. Those are like my goats. Fruity Patchouli. Even like, oh, I guess shout out Berlin ASMR. Like, it's kind of like very in vogue right now in terms of ASMR, I think. Okay. The shower noise has officially stopped. This one's a very personal, introspective question. Some of these have been pretty surface level. I don't even know if I can qualify these as like extremely personal, specific questions because I've just kind of been throwing random ones out there. But do you feel truly connected to your friend group, or do you feel more of an outsider, on the friend group? Or if you have one, of course, not everybody has a friend group, especially not as an adult. Okay. Do you consider yourself, at least at like, how do you think others perceive you? Okay, in this sense, do you think you are a welcoming kind of what's the word, inviting person, or do you think you're a relatively standoffish, uninviting, unapproachable person? Approachable, that's a good word. How approachable do you think you are to others? I think I'm fairly approachable. I try to make myself seem not approachable when I'm just like want to be left alone, but typically in like mingling scenarios, I think people feel invited by my presence, I believe. When I was younger, I was always one of those people that had a ton of introvert friends because they just like suctioned to me. Okay. Let's see. Are you the one that does the grocery shopping for your household? And if so, do you like it? Do you like grocery shopping? Do you not mind it, or do you hate it? Personally, I do not like grocery shopping because I feel like it never ends. Why am I always at the damn store? I don't like it. Okay. Let's see. Okay. My lip color has changed drastically throughout the course of this video. I'm trying to find my lipstick identity lately. Okay. Okay, that's not the type of ASMR we're making right now. Let me focus. What is your favorite color? Color, if you have one. I'm realizing this paper I have that has a bunch of questions on it actually only has questions from like 3 of my questions videos. I wish I would have gone back because a lot of these are relatively recent. I wanted to like get some deep cuts from the old videos. I might even have 1 or 2 that are privated. I don't know. What is your skin type? Do you have oily skin, dry skin, combination skin? Do you even know? Okay. This is kind of a random one, but do you like slime and like fidgets? Are you into that? Or could you just like not care less? Some people hate slime. Hate it. Okay, good. And that reminds me of a good one I thought of. What is like a fad or a trend that you totally bought into, even if it was when you were a kid? Because kids are a lot more impressionable with that sort of thing, right? Like, I definitely dabbled in a lot of the trends of my era. Like, I liked Rainbow Loom. I wasn't like fully obsessed, but I did have one, and I did make Rainbow Loom bracelets. I liked silly bands. Again, I wasn't fully in it. I think a lot of the reason why I wasn't fully in on these trends is because my parents just did not even entertain letting me have any of the crap. So yeah. But what is a trend that you bought into? What about Labubu? Labubu. Do you own a Labubu? Or did you? Okay. Let's talk music. How cultured are you? How educated and well-rounded are you in terms of your music knowledge? Yeah. I only realized, this isn't me trying to like humble brag. In high school, I hung out with like music people, like indie scene, like music people, and they talked about music all the time. You were just kind of expected to know a lot of things, and I always felt like I was trailing behind. So for the longest time, I had this perception of myself that I wasn't very like well-rounded in terms of my music taste. But then I got out of that scene, kind of grew older, made other friends outside of that interest, and I realized, oh shit, I'm a pretentious asshole about music, because when I hear other people saying, what music they're into, and it's all stuff I know got popular on TikTok and shit, I know that it's okay. I understand on a very surface level that that's totally okay. I'm glad people are getting into music that way, but it does make me be like, ugh. I'm not gonna lie, I'm like, or like when someone has never heard of something that I consider to be like something you should know about, I'm like, okay, weird. I mean, I'm not that judgy about it, but I'm just always surprised. I'm like, Yeah, I guess I am like more interested in music than the typical person. Not even that my taste is like fantastic or anything, but okay. What genre of music do you think you listen to the most? Or are you one of those folks that says, I listen to everything? Those people are always like this. I listen to everything except rap. Or I listen to everything except country. Then you don't listen to everything. I also feel like the people who say that usually just genuinely don't mean it. Like, I listen to everything, but like, they aren't into any sort of like super alternative or experimental music at all. Then like, no, you don't listen. Let me stop myself. Because here, I'm doing it again. Do you notice? I literally just had a whole self-deprecating talk about how I'm such a priss. How I'm so snooty. And then I just started to do it. Okay. Let me write this down. Do you have good handwriting? I just thought of that off the top of my head. I was going to ask more questions about music, but okay. Alright, let me think. What is an artist or maybe like a band that is popular that you really don't like? And not in a way of like, I just don't get the hype, like you actively dislike them. Interesting, okay. I think a lot of people who say they super don't like something actually genuinely, like, they just kind of say that because they're being a little bit contrarian, but in reality they just like haven't listened to much of it and it's not super their thing. One thing that triggers the fuck out of me is people going like this. I don't really like the Beatles. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? I just think they're so overrated. Okay, well that's not the same as not liking them. It's not the same as not liking the Beatles, so don't be disrespectful. Don't play in my motherfucking face. Not even that I'm like a huge Beatles stan, but look, here I go again. Here I go again. Being annoying as fuck about music. Okay. What is your favorite and least favorite months of the year? For me, I think my favorite is November, or even like October, September, October. I just love the autumn, the fall. And my least favorite is probs, August. I want to say July, but my birthday is in July, and July is usually kind of like a party month in general, so I can't say July. Okay. Who is your, if you know, do you know who your birthday twin is? Do you share a birthday with any famous people? Okay. I share a birthday with Ringo Starr. We were just talking about the Beatles. I share a birthday with Ringo Starr and like one or two other famous people, but that's the main one that I always remember. Peace, love. Okay. If they, just the whoever, wrote a book about your life, what aspect of your life do you think it would focus on? Or just the whole thing? You think it would just be a biography? Okay. Who is the last person you texted? Are you a good texter? Do you respond, you think, like a good amount? Do you respond an appropriate amount? Or do you leave people on red? Left on heard? Red. Okay. Alright. Do you have any monthly services that you paid you pay for that you really, really like. You really, really like and find to be worth it. For me, I do YouTube Premium, and guys, it is so worth it to me. Like, I just spend so much time watching YouTube that I'm like, damn, why am I spending money on all this weird little shit on a day-to-day basis when I could be like literally improving my quality of life? That sounds dramatic, but you know what I mean. I'm like, damn, okay, this is low-key worth it. You can also get a family plan. Okay. I wish I had the type of spending money to get like a spa or massage membership, but I do not. That shit is expensive. Every time I think that I'm gonna splurge and do something fun like that, I look at their prices and I say, never mind. Are you a good secret keeper? Okay, what about this? Are you a good liar? Are you a good liar? Okay. What about schmoozing? Are you a good schmoozer? Or, frankly, another word for schmoozing could just be networking. Not all the time. Not all networking is schmoozing, but I hate networking. I don't mind networking in the ASMR sense, but every other job I've ever had that they've been like, network. I fucking suck at it. I suck. I am not I mean, I don't know if it comes across in my videos, but I'm an extremely awkward individual. I cannot pretend or hide my feelings, so when it comes to things I'm not really interested in, I have trouble actually seeming genuine. I am not a bullshitter. Okay. Do you consider yourself a successful person? Just in your mind, your mind, are you a successful person? Because different people have different standards for what makes someone successful. Okay. Do you like to party? Are you kind of a party person? Or are you like total homebody? You couldn't drag me to a party if you tried. I'm more of a party person than most of my homebody friends. A lot of the people I hang out with are not big on going out. But I think I am less of a party person than your average like sorority girl or something like that, you know. I'm just not a skilled partier like that. I get eepy. I get tired. I want to go home and I want to listen to my ASMR. I wish I didn't get tired. Damn. I would love that. I guess that's why people do drugs, right? But I don't. That's a fun question. Do you do drugs? I'm not a cop. Do you partake? What about marijuana? The devil's lettuce. Okay, interesting. Can you tell that like the further into filming, the less on track I stay and the more I just ramble? Are you a frequent crier? Do you cry easily? What about, do you cry at movies and shows? Do you cry at music? Anything like that? Okay. Do you cry when you get mad? Okay. What is a task or a skill that it feels like everyone else has figured out, but you haven't figured it out? If you're an adult, then my question might be like, what's a grown-up skill? What's something that's adulting that like you just don't get it? The concept But when people are like, I can't cook at all, it's like, okay, like, it's a learned skill. I mean, okay, let me take that back, because most things are learned skills, okay? Probably even schmoozing, like I was just talking about, is a learned skill. But I'm mostly thinking of, like, dudes who are like, I couldn't cook if I tried. It's like, because you've never fucking tried. Alright, let me stop raging at people I made up in my head. Are you are you by chance familiar with the My Little Ponies? If so, which pony are you? Which pony do you identify with? Which pony, what pony, what pony, what pony? Okay. Now I'm trying to think of more groups like that. Let me do like a Mario character. Which Mario character do you identify with the most? Or you're like, that's me, that's my twin, that's twin. Mario. Okay, what's another thing that I'm like, who are you? Tag yourself. Oh, what about the show Friends? Which character do you relate to? Which one do you think you are the most? Okay, interesting. What's another one? Here's a good one. And this is a different question than what is your favorite month, I swear. Which month are you? If your vibe, if your aura was a particular month, which would it be? It doesn't have to be the same month as the one that's your favorite. I like to think that I have like a September vibe, or even an October vibe, but I'm not sure. What do you think? Alright. While we're doing this whole which blank are you? I will delve into territory I am not very familiar with. What Hogwarts house are you? If you even know. I'm not like a Harry Potter person, really. Okay. Actually, if you do like Harry Potter, if you're into it at all, what is your favorite Harry Potter movie? Okay. What about if you're into Star Wars? What's your favorite Star Wars movie? Okay. I would tell you guys my answer, but I don't think most of you would like it. And I really don't want to hear it. But while I'm talking about movies, what is your favorite movie? What is your favorite movie? That's a hard question for some of us. Hard question. Okay. What is your favorite movie that came out this last year? That's kind of a hard one. Honestly, well, because right now it's it's January. Wow. I just tried to skip ahead. It's January, so I don't even know if any of the movies I've seen this year were from this year. Is Marty Supreme from this year? I liked that movie. I enjoyed it. What was my favorite movie I saw last year, though? Okay, I took a second to think about it. I think another favorite from last year was Frankenstein. It was a Netflix release, but I saw it in theaters because they did limited runs in theaters, and I love the movies. I love going to the movies. Frankenstein. That was a good movie. I liked it better than Nosferatu. Did that come out last year? I liked Frankenstein way fucking better. Although, I'm not super fond of Oscar Isaac. Eek. Sorry, guys. Alright. What's another good question? Ooh, that reminds me. What is your favorite horror movie, or I guess like horror thriller? Last year, in 2025, I watched The Witch for the first time because Nosferatu has the same director, yeah. He's the same one that did The Lighthouse, I think. But, yeah, I was watching his movies, and I watched The Witch. Great movie. Not definitely, but slash like thriller movie. It resonated with me like crazy, and it just clicked. Like I was like, this is mine. This movie was made for me. I love that movie. I love it, love it, love it. Fantastic. Probably my top 10 movies ever. Blew my mind. I know a lot of people don't feel the same way about it, but okay. I definitely liked it better than Nosferatu, assuming I'm correct about those being the same directors. Okay. In general, what would you say is your favorite genre of movie to watch? Interesting. I love a good comedy, but there are way, way, way more bad comedies than good comedies. But I just love to like have fun watching a movie. So I also, but I do like, you know, art house type movies too. That's not a genre, but you get the gist. I'm not a romance movie fan, but you know, romance finds its way into a lot of movies. I don't do rom-coms. No, thank you. That's just not my cup of tea. Alright, guys. We've gotten to the point where I am very much just yapping. Should I cut it short? Or should I do a few more questions? Okay. If you were like an element, what would you be? What would you be? What would you be? You could do like, you know, fire, water, earth, air. I don't know. That sort of. Those are like the Avatar ones, right? Avatar: The Last Airbender, not Avatar, the James Cameron. That's his name, right? Movie. I don't know what I would be, so I'm not gonna answer that question. Maybe Earth. Okay. Do you like the beach? Do you like the beach? Are you a beach person? A beach enjoyer? Joy. Interesting. Are you going on any trips or vacations this year? Even if you don't have the tickets, do you have like a mental plan for a vacation or trip you're going to take this year? I think on the back half of the year I'm going to be taking 2 trips, but I'm going to hustle for this first half of the year. Hopefully you guys will, if I'm following through, if I'm holding myself to my word, you will be seeing a lot more of my face, Okay. Does your family mostly live local to where you are? Or is your family all spread out, or you live a long distance away from them? Okay, interesting. Is your family religious? Okay. Do you have siblings? Okay. That was honestly just the first part of a 2-part question, because if you do have siblings, or even if you don't, do you think you give the energy of the sibling you are? Do you think you give only child vibes if you're an only child? Do you think you give older sibling vibes if you're the older sibling, etc.? Do you think you give younger sibling vibes if you're the younger sibling? Okay, interesting. What is one thing you wish you could be really good at that you just don't have the knack for? Something you always wished, ooh, I wish I was that. Ooh, I wish I was such a good singer. I wish I was a super good chef. I wish I was. Okay, interesting. Okay. If you could say one thing is your talent, if you could name, like if someone says, what is your talent? What would your answer be? What are you talented at? What are you most talented at? Okay. currently at this point in your life, would you say you're more of a work to live or live to work type person? Do you live for the weekend? Do you work for the weekend, or are you so absorbed with your work that you're just extremely motivated by your job right now? Okay. Oh, this is a good one. A very important one. Listen, hey, are you listening? Are you subscribed to Somnial Sounds ASMR? Are you subscribed to Somnial Sounds? Are you subscribed to Somnial Sounds ASMR? No, you're not? Well, you should do it. It literally takes such little effort to tap that subscribe button, and it means the world. It means the world. No, but for realsies, I would love if you could tap that subscribe button, leave some kind of interaction for the algorithm. If you watched this far, you are probably one of a very small percentage of viewers who watched all the way to the end. So what's our secret code gonna be? I want you to put a plane flew over. A plane. I want you to put a night sky related emoji in the comments if you watched this far as our secret signal. So, stars, moon, any of those sort of things. That'll be our wink wink, nudge nudge, wink wink nudge, that you watched all the way through. And of course, I always love to hear your feedback. Did you like this video? Do you want my questions to be more specific? Which questions did you like? Which questions did you find boring? Etc. Just go crazy in the comments. Tell me everything. Tell me your whole life story. Tell me your social security number. Tell me everything in the comments. Alright, because I love to read them, and I love you guys. I love making ASMR. I love. Can you tell that I took my Adderall today? I'm just overall very locked in compared to... I say that, but I was just rambling so much. I mean, what do you expect a girl to do when she's just sitting talking to herself in a room? I can't hear you guys. Can't hear. Speak up. Type. Whatever you want to do in the comments. Just chit chat with me. Okay. I'm really drawing this out. I wanted this video to get to 2 hours so I could put it in the title that it's 2 hours of questions. But I don't know, maybe I'll just be like 200 questions. I'll have to go back and count how many. Guys, maybe I'll just round up. I don't know. Is it possible that I asked 200 questions? There's no fucking way. There's no way. I'm doing the math on that, and that doesn't make any sense. Okay. Okay, guys. I love you. Sending positive vibes. Watch some of my other videos if you want. I don't know. And I hope you have a great week. If you don't have a great week, I hope one great thing happens to you this week, okay? And see you next time? ? See you later.